All right, I kept saying that this was our last video for several videos now, but from our Orlando trip, but this is legitimately the last video.
It is.
Because I kept forgetting that there was other things that we were planning to do. So I know for a fact the last video, which was our resort comparison, I said this is the last video, but it wasn't.
Because you get a surprise video.
This is the last video that has anything to do with our Orlando trip. So this is the shout out video for all of the people that we came across on that whole trip.
And it's really important to like shout out to those people because they're super sweet.
But also to show how helpful they were.
Yes.
Because of information we were looking for. So, you know, one of our tips in moving to Florida videos was talk to the locals. So that's what we did. And so we're just kind of saying thank you to all the people who helped us and gave us their input, as well as going above and beyond if they were, you know, a server at a restaurant or something to that effect. So we're going to give our shout out now and thank yous to everyone. And I'll put pictures and links to all these places as we go along, because all the videos have already come out of all the places that we're going to be talking about.
I kept track in a notepad of everybody to like kind of just give, like Albert said, that shout out to. I love giving people words of encouragement, and like he referenced, talking to the locals, which I have no problem talking to anybody. If you know me, you know that. And if you don't know me, it's just a thing. I will talk to anybody. So first person we wanted to give a shout out to, her name was Megan, and we met her when we were in line at Gideon's. And oh my word, she was super sweet. We referenced her in another video because she used to work at Dorney Park. So that's how we got to talking to her. And I just loved her. Like, she was so informative. She came down from Pennsylvania. She told us of different areas to look at. Like, we were going to go out to Harmony. Was it Harmony?
Yes. We changed our plans.
Yeah. Because
she was the first one to say Winter Garden was a nice area to look at.
Yeah, she's
but then that name came up a couple times. So, you know, but she was the first to suggest that area. So we changed our plans. We never did look at Harmony. No. We ended up going to Winter Garden instead.
But Megan at Gideon's, she told us about a place in Allentown that we will do a review on called, I think it's Yakko's.
Hot dog place.
She says it's like the best hot dogs.
I've seen the sign. I know what she's talking about. I've just never been there. And
so we'll do a review and a shout out again to Megan. But she was incredibly nice. I just loved her personality.
Yes.
Douglas. Oh my goodness.
From the Marvel store at Disney Springs.
I loved him.
What sucks is that video, I wasn't recording. So I literally asked him, like, we were looking at the toys for the Eternals movie and like looking how neat they were. And then he started talking about how, you know, there's a thing that the company who's putting the toys out, like, you buy so many and you get this extra figure to put them all together.
Or to make like one massive thing.
I thought I was recording, and I literally asked, is it okay that I'm recording you while we're talking?
And he was so
And he said yes. So like I thought I was getting all this great information on video, and then when I went to edit, it wasn't there. I must have been recording, hit pause, and then like thought I was recording again. I don't know. So like that whole interaction was not even recorded.
But he, like, if you're a Marvel total freak like us, he was like a Marvel encyclopedia.
Oh, yeah. Yes, the Marvel shirt. Did you end up getting it or returning it?
I got it and then returned it, which I kind of
So there was an old school ringer tee with like probably 25 faces of Marvel characters. Yes, and we went up to buy it, and you know, we had this great interaction with him, Marvel Encyclopedia, and then he wanted to check us out, you know, when we were ready to purchase. So he literally named every single Marvel character on that shirt.
And he was just so awesome. I just, like, he's the type of person, like, when we go back to Disney Springs, I like want to go see him.
Yes.
He's so awesome.
And then maybe I
want to be friends with him.
Maybe I can record an interaction this time.
So this one's a shout out because like they were super accommodating and sweet.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
We went to Everglazed Donut, and we had that
I'll
in
be
video.
linking all of our videos too.
Benny was there, and I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I automatically assumed all the breakfast sandwiches were put onto glazed donuts, like they grill them and then put them on but it's an upgrade.
What was it on, a Kaiser roll?
Yeah, so like, no, it was
bun?
like, yeah, some kind of bun. And we were like, oops. So I went in and I was like, is there any way I can switch it out? I'll pay the difference. Like, I'll pay for a new sandwich, whatever. And he's like, oh my word, don't even worry about it. We'll just switch it around. He's like, do you want me to add extra? And I'm like, don't add extra anything, because I felt bad he wouldn't take my money. So, but he was super accommodating, because our fault, yet he was very accommodating. Then our server, Jesse.
Out at the Innocent. Yes.
God bless Jesse. That poor boy.
And he was also, or I think he was, so we asked him about the areas of Florida.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he was actually looking to move from Florida to the Philadelphia area. And like, coincidentally, which is, we're from the suburbs of Philadelphia.
Yeah,
we're
he was
like,
so
no,
interested.
Don't do that.
We're like, why would you do that? And he's like, something different. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe visit a few times and check it out. Don't just move there. But why? Yeah, no, he was super helpful. Yeah. And yeah, you had asked him your suggestions on the menu and things.
God bless. He put up with so much from me that I was like, that man deserves a major shout out for dealing with.
And also, the servers and stuff like that. Even though we're giving a shout out video, there's no better shout out than like tipping well.
Yeah.
So
you need to do that.
Pro tip: when you're going out to these places and you have services above and beyond, then obviously you should tip well, because
you don't have to stay at 20%. Like, they're awesome and they're so nice. Spurlock at Universal Studios.
This was my hoodie fiasco.
He was so nice.
I think we briefly touched on it, because that was our review of Toothsome. We had gone to City Walk for dinner at Toothsome. And then we didn't go into great detail because we were going to talk about it here.
Well, Albert wanted a sweatshirt.
Yes, I wanted
a specific sweatshirt.
It was a Disney trip, so all of our merchandise was Disney. The only time we had on Universal property was at City Walk once for Toothsome dinner. Yeah, so we just walked City Walk, but I don't have anything Universal. Like, I thought about it, I was like, I have Disney shirts and things like that, but I've never actually bought anything Universal. So there was a Universal hoodie that I would wear, so I wanted to get it, but they didn't have my size. So I went, we went to the counter and asked, do you have any more in the back? They said no, but they said, we can check a few other stores. And
even the resort.
This was Spurlock helping us the whole time. Yeah, so which I love the name, he called like any place that you could get this hoodie, even in the park. So we were in City Walk. We didn't have Universal tickets, but he was like, oh, if they have it in the park, we'll send someone to go get it and bring it out to City Walk. I'm like, you don't have to do any of that. It's just a hoodie. Yeah, it doesn't require this much time and resources. I can just hope it's here next time I'm down. But he just kept going, and like this huge search for a hoodie in my size. And ultimately, they found it. It was at Dockside Resort.
So we went there.
Yes.
After dinner.
So after dinner, we went and got it. But I should have tried it on.
But it didn't fit.
So I'm normally an extra large, comfortably, in t-shirts and hoodies. But if you've ever been to Disney Universal, sizes are dramatically different.
They're so
you could get a hoodie at one gift shop that's one style that fits your normal size, and then you go get a different hoodie that's a different brand, and all of a sudden it's not. So definitely try everything on that you intend to get.
Yeah, it's not good for us big girls, and like you end up going up like 2 sizes, and you're like, wait, I wasn't that yesterday.
Yeah, so Dockside, I ran in, I just pulled up to the curb, ran in, got the hoodie, went back to our resort, and then the day we were deciding what we should like try on and return, I found that it was like way too small. So I think it was our resort day that Friday when we did Caribbean Beach. Just stayed at the resort. You went to the pool, and I ran to Dockside to exchange it for a 2X. But anyway, Spurlock was super helpful in finding the one and only hoodie that was in that whole store that I would wear.
He's so nice. First of all, his name, awesome.
Yes.
Spurlock.
We'll have to find him again too, because we'll be in.
Yeah, Universal.
We'll do more Universal stuff in April.
Yep. So I'm gonna rewind. Jesse did not have to put up with me at Edison.
They all do.
They don't.
Yeah.
And why I say this
is...
Because
you're very indecisive anytime we got to eat. So there's always, like, I would say, Jesse didn't have to put up with you as much.
I'm very nice about it, though. I'm not mean to anybody. Yes. I smile.
Yeah, but you're just kind. Very indecisive.
And they get tipped good for my indecisiveness. And why I say this is because Alex V over at Tucson in City Walk.
Yeah, he was younger.
He was younger, and that's who I kept thinking, like, this young guy. And I told Albert, stop the video because I think I had these two messed up. But Alex is who I was thinking about. He was so nice. He's from England.
Yes, but not, like, he was born there, but he's grown up in the States.
But he still has that accent.
No, he didn't have an accent.
He didn't at all?
No, but his name tag said he was from there.
That's right, and I was telling him about my trip there. Yeah.
When you're, hired at these places, you have, like, your hometown. You can, I guess, have a choice that you choose what town you want basically on your name tag. Because he even explained it. Yes, because he was the one that explained it to us. Like, because we were like, oh, and I remember saying, like, you don't have an accent. He's like, well, because technically I was born here, but I've lived in the States longer than I was actually in.
Didn't he say he wanted to go back to England? Possibly.
No, he said he would never go back. There was reasons, like driving. Like, remember there was something about, like, the roads.
Oh, driving on, like, the opposite side.
Yeah, crazy laws and regulations and things like that. He was like, no way would he go back there to live.
Because I was so flip-flopping these two. Okay, so Alex V at Tucson was awesome. Great waiter, super friendly, younger, like, on point, like, with just friendliness and customer service. So awesome, Alex.
Even, I mean, I guess I put up with this because we're sarcastic. So I do remember joking around with him because since he's from England, we're like, did he drink at a younger age? Because the legal limits are like 14 or 16. Because I was asking about
drinks, and he's like, well, I'm not 21.
You wanted a non-alcoholic. So then as you're asking him, he's like, I have no idea because he wasn't even 21. Like, and then we're like, come on, you're from England. There's a younger drinking age.
Yeah, we feel in our household, everybody gets treated equally. So we are sarcastic and smartasses to everyone. But we do it in a loving manner.
No, more so to some people.
But to everybody in general.
The more we love you, the more we are smartasses.
You just hold a special place in our heart. Just know that. Amy at Brown Derby, she was super sweet.
Oh, yeah. She was so sweet that you didn't want to tell her that you didn't like your first choice.
Because she was so nice. And she's like, do you like it? And I'm like,
she did have an accent. But I couldn't, I don't remember, we were trying to see where she was from.
Did we figure it out?
No, but it was somewhere in England. It was like a bit of an English accent.
A really pretty accent.
Yes.
But I felt so bad because I did not. Listen, I know it's like one of those like fancier restaurants, whatever Disney calls them. What is that? What do they call those fancy restaurants?
Deluxe or not deluxe. I don't know.
Yeah, something. I did not like Brown Derby. Like, I didn't like it at all. Palette. But Amy was super nice, and she was so nice. Like, I was like, well, just tell them that you don't. I mean, I did not like what I got.
To me, with the money that you're spending, and it's Disney, like, they'll accommodate anything. That's what they're there for.
I just felt bad.
You're not taking advantage of it. I think it's their policy to, like, the guest, they want to make the guest happy. So if you don't like something, you tell them, and they'll take it off the bill and give you something you actually want to eat.
But I just like felt bad. I didn't want to make her job harder, but I was
not cooking it. She's just bringing it to the table.
So, but yeah, she was really accommodating and nice. I forget what I first got, but
it was a fish.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And crab. It was
no.
in it. And I like burnt butter or some kind of sauce.
Yeah, no. But she was super nice, Amy. Aaron he was so nice. Oh, yes. Aaron at
he was very talkative.
The Journey to Imagination at the gift shop. He said he's been going to Disney since he was 8 years old.
Yes.
And he was
there for the opening of Disney. And it was the 50th anniversary, so.
Yes, he was there and he was telling us stories.
He hasn't worked there the whole time, though. He did move away. I remember saying, and he came back, and started working there again. So there was a little bit of gaps.
But he's been there for like umpteen years, and he was so fun to talk to. He really sat down with us and was like telling us about Lake Wales and Davenport.
Yes.
Those areas.
And he did give his opinion on Mount Dora, because we had already been to Mount Dora.
Yes.
So we gave him that as an example of like, we love that look and that feel. So, he was very...
super nice,
informative and suggesting of other areas.
Yeah, and he had said at one point he lived out in Lakeland, where we like a while ago, but he said that drive on like the I-4 is pretty brutal. But yeah, so he was super nice, really fun to talk to. Then we have Sharon at Epcot Creation Shop. I wrote 20. Oh, she gave us.
We didn't have. We had our celebration pins.
Yeah, and
she was like, they have anniversary pins.
Nope.
Because we had, where did we get the celebration? From the resort?
I think so, maybe.
I don't know. We had celebration pins celebrating 20 years. And she saw that and she was like, they have anniversary pins.
No, we didn't.
So, or congratulations. I forget what the one was.
I think it's basically it was happily ever after.
Yeah. So it's like, it'll work for anniversaries or if you're like engaged. It's like an engagement or anniversary pin.
Or celebrating your wedding. I don't know. But she was super nice. And then she's the one that wrote like 20 years instead of 20 years. It was super cute. She was super nice. And she like went out of her way to like find markers and these pens. Like she was just really nice. Jack at Magic Kingdom Photo in front of the castle. He's the one that was supposed to do the rainbow. I just remember we were talking to him. Oh, yeah,
that photo never came
It never came through.
On our photo pass.
Yeah, because we were supposed to be like
holding it. Yeah, but we never.
I don't know why it didn't come through.
The effects didn't work or something.
But he was so nice and like trying all different photos and like just really, I'm telling you, these people are just so incredibly customer service driven, which I love. I love good customer service. I'm a huge advocate for it. But he was super, super sweet. Then Dana at Ale and Compass.
She was our waitress. Yes.
Yes, she was our waitress. The whole staff there was phenomenal at that restaurant. Like, phenomenal.
She found out. We were wearing our pins. But she brought us that cake for free. The dessert. The Mickey Mouse dome cake.
Yeah.
That was in the Ale and Compass video.
She was
But she told us a story about how, because we were like, because she was giving us suggestions on what she likes, and we're like, as the wait staff, do you get to take like food home?
Yes.
And she was like, yeah, everybody fights over these dome cakes.
Because they're super chocolatey.
Yeah. So like there's times, I don't know if they're leftovers or something, somehow, they probably get discounts, I'm sure. But, people will save dome cake to take home with them and stuff like that. But there was one.
Oh, she was telling us a story. I felt so bad for her because they don't always get them. The staff does it. It's only if there's extra. And she gets so excited when there's extra to where.
Didn't she forget it?
She forgot it at work and she got all the way home. She's like, no.
And then they did end up like throwing them away or something.
So she came in the next day and it wasn't there. And I felt, you know what we should have done? Now that I think about it, I should have bought her a dome cake and just given it to her to take home.
Tip. She could buy it.
That is true. She took a very nice tip. But she was, the whole staff there was just phenomenal. I loved it. So then we were on the Skyliner. And again, this comes back to Colleen will talk to anybody. So I made friends with this lady and I didn't get her name. So technically not friends, but we were talking very nicely. On the Skyliner on our way to Ale and Compass. It's this newly engaged couple, and we just wanted to wish them the best wishes because they were just so incredibly sweet. And I was so excited for her when she was talking about her wedding and being engaged because she was just so excited.
I remember.
Yeah, it's his second marriage, her first.
And she had lived in Florida for a long time and then moved away and then is coming back.
Yeah,
and she doesn't know what she liked better.
Yes.
She likes Florida, but she doesn't like the heat and things like that.
Yeah, it was like they went to like Ohio or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Ohio.
But they were just a super nice couple, so I just wanted to give them a shout out if you're watching. I hope your wedding is awesome because y'all just so sweet. Then we have, oh my goodness,
the skipper
she was so funny
of the Jungle Cruise.
Lindsay,
yeah,
at Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, there hilarious. Was, and I know each skipper has their own kind of routine, and there's like, I think the basic jokes, the traditional jokes, I should say, but then each one adds more, or changes it up each time. So like each time you go on the Jungle Cruise, you're going to hear something different. So that's what like draws people back to see like what jokes are there now. But
she
hers
was so
stood
funny.
out. Yeah. There was times where, some skippers, I don't know if they're new or, they're just not as good as at it. There's still some funny parts, but through and through, like the whole ride, like she made hilarious.
I loved her. Yeah. Like her whole personality, like she's the type that like just even watching her and how she spoke, and I was like, I totally would be friends with her. Like she was just hilarious. So shout out to Lindsay. And then so that kind of wraps up the Universal City Walk and all of Disney, but we wanted to give a couple, like 3 more shout outs. We did talk about one in a previous video, Matt from the Matt Place in Winter Garden. Yes. He's there selling his awesome maps. So
I don't remember if we showed them in that video, our haul video.
Yes.
I don't know, but these were the maps. So he makes them. It's
City Series.
AB Newton and Company, City Series.
And they
abnewton.com.
They go together.
There's your website.
I don't know.
Yes. So it's not
this way or that way, but they were neat.
Yes, and it's not to scale, obviously, but each town, the maps, you can just lay them around each other and connect all of Florida.
That's neat.
Yep.
I really liked it. But yeah, he was so nice, and he did not have to do that, but he did. And thank you, Matt. The next ones was Tanya and I think it was BB. They work for the city of Winter Garden.
Yes.
And
they're ambassadors. But one of them was changing jobs. Like that was her last weekend, I think.
I think Tanya was the new.
Yeah, so they were Winter Garden ambassadors, and one of them was actually getting a job like
in the city.
In the municipal. And that was a municipal job.
So I immediately sought them out and was like, oh, let's go talk to them. Let's talk to them about Winter Garden areas, things like that. But they were so incredibly nice. They talked to us just for the longest time and all about Winter Garden.
But even though they were Winter Garden ambassadors, they gave us suggestions of other areas. They weren't, again, it's like, it's nice to have honesty and sincerity.
Although they said Winter Garden obviously is the best, which honestly,
but they're not.
It was impressive.
They weren't like withholding information. You know what I mean? They weren't just like, oh, Winter Garden's it. They were like, oh, if you like Winter Garden, there's this, there's that, whatever.
Yes. So super sweet. And then the last but not least, his name is Greg.
Oh yeah, the owner of
Pickles, that New York deli that we went to.
And we did talk about him in that video.
Yeah, I love him.
At the end with our review. But yeah, super personable.
His personality is awesome.
I can see how, like he'll go over the whole menu with you or suggest things, you know what I mean? Because even, I kind of had my mind made up, and I'm somebody who like, once I have my mind made up, like, you can suggest all you want. I'm going to get what I want. But, he said, like, if you want, like, authentic New York, this is, the sandwich to get.
He was so nice. Like, I am going back to Pickles just because of him. Well, besides their food was phenomenal, but he is awesome. Like, he's the type that, like, I want to support his business. Yep. He's just phenomenal.
And this whole family a little weird hours. I remember, like, we got there right as they were closing. We didn't even know it.
Yeah.
But, like, the whole place, like, we finished eating, not thinking, and they had already closed. Like, they were cleaning up. They weren't pushy at all. We had no idea that they were closing. I think it was, like, 3 or 4 o'clock.
It wasn't late. It wasn't.
On a Saturday? I don't know.
But he was super nice. Like, seriously, if you are in Florida, around Central Florida, in the area, like, Pickles has amazing food. And, like, support local. He is just phenomenal. His whole family was working. He's got a great personality. And you can tell he has a heart. Like, so.
Yeah, he's passionate about what he does.
So, that's everybody
That's a wrap
that
for our shout-outs.
we really
Yeah.
wrote down. But
And
everybody was phenomenal.
We'll keep track for our next trip in April.
Mm-hmm.
So subscribe and follow along, because April we'll be going down and focusing on Universal and stuff like that. But we're looking at other areas, so we'll have a whole nother range of videos from moving to Orlando updates and the what's new at Universal things. That there's a ton of new stuff.
I'm so excited.
It was 2018. No, we didn't even go in 2018.
No.
2016 since you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Alex has never been to Islands of Adventure. You know, like when we went in 2014, we only did Universal, because we did Disney and only one Universal day. So Alex has never been to Islands of Adventure. So there's a plenty of new for everyone.
And we've never had the park hopper where we can ride like the train.
Yep.
I'm really excited, and I have to say, because I am just a sucker for everything. I can
sucker for everything.
I cannot wait to just spend a week with us and Alex. Like, I can't tell you, like, I think about it and my heart's just like, oh, I can't wait.
The new Cirque du Soleil show. We're doing that on his birthday.
I'm so excited we can do this for him.
Yeah, you know? On his birthday, we're going to go do that show. So we'll do that review as well.
Yeah.
At Disney Springs. Drawn to life is what it is.
Yeah, I feel so blessed and grateful that we can do this for Alex and spend this time with him. So, I mean, obviously, like, we love spending time with all of them and Melody and stuff, but we've just never taken Alex somewhere, just us. And so I'm just so excited for that.
And I get to spend some time with cousins.
Yeah, Matthew and Lukey will come down and spend time with him, and he's very excited about that. So I'm just very excited for our trip.
All right, so till next time, subscribe below.
Bye.
And follow along.
See you
Till
later.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.